Hey guys, what's up? DEAF here, bringing you guys the ultimate lag fix for Advanced Warfare. Now, I know there's a ton of these videos on YouTube, and I'm sure you've watched them before. A lot of people actually get famous off these lag videos, but I actually haven't found one that actually has helped me yet. And I'm not saying that these guys are crappy at making videos, because they're really good. They put some of these guys put a lot of effort into them, but none of them actually know what they're talking about. They're just blabbing on the same thing over and over and over and over again, not actually helping anybody. They're just reading off a form or something like that, and that's their understanding of lag, and lag comp for that matter. So this all lag problem started for me about a couple days ago when I got new internet, and I will put a picture of my speeds right now, and they're pretty damn good. It's the best internet you can get in my area. Pretty much, well, not in Canada, but in my area, it's the best internet you can get. So, I mean, like, yeah, the internet is strong, but I noticed that I was lagging in Call of Duty. And I know, like, that sounds stupid because my entire other internet usage, wired for that matter, was amazing. It's fast as hell. I download stuff instantly. I mean, like, oh my god, I'm having so much fun with my internet. I know that sounds so stupid, but when you're a nerd, you get enjoyed and, you know, fucking entertained by that stupidest fucking shit. But anyways, I noticed that Advanced Warfare was lagging. I was literally ready to take my modem back that they gave me and saying, fuck you, fuck this internet, I can't play Call of Duty. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna fix it. So I've been spending the whole weekend actually troubleshooting this, and I found basically, I think every solution to lag in this game. So I want to start off with the main cause of lag. And it's not slow connection, because if you don't know, Advanced Warfare actually throttles everybody's bandwidth, and they actually tell you your bandwidth. If you press, go to the multiplayer menu and hit options, which is start, and then go all the way to the bottom to system info. And the reason I'm not showing you it is because there's personal IP information there, and I don't want to show that. But if you go press start on the menu in multiplayer, go down to system info, it'll tell you your bandwidth. And if you guys don't know what bandwidth is, it's basically your capacity for download. And my capacity for download, Advanced Warfare tells me, is around 4,000 megabytes. Or sorry, 4,000 kilobytes per second, 4 megabytes per second. And I was like, what? That's not possible. I have 250 megabyte download. That's not, that doesn't make sense. But yes, they do actually throttle your download. So my first clue is it's not my speeds, because it's getting throttled regardless. So what I actually tried doing, and this is what I believe helped, is I knew that my moderate or my NAT type had changed from open to moderate. So if your NAT type is anything but open, on any other game, Xbox for that matter, moderate NAT type is fine. It's actually good, because it's, it's not perfect, but it's not bad. It's not as bad as it sounds. But you want it to be open on Call of Duty. You want it to. And the reason is because you find less laggy games. And I know you may say, Steven, like, if you know anything about computers, that doesn't make sense. You're still going to find games. Matchmaking takes the same set of rules, same protocols as if your NAT was open. That makes no sense. That's not going to fix my problem. But that's what I thought too. And I was like suffering through this. But it actually makes a difference. And it's really weird. It's super weird. But it makes a difference. And I have no explanation for it. I don't really care. I know that it helps me with the lag. So, steps to disabling things and achieving that open NAT. So what you want to do is head over to your router settings, and if you don't know, type in 192.168.1.1 on your address bar in any browser, and it'll ask you for your username and password. If you don't know your default username and password, just navigate to the internet and it'll tell you. If you know it, log in, great. And head over to, I believe it's under wireless, sometimes it's under LAN, sometimes it's under WAN, it depends on your router, and you want to enable UPnP. A lot of people think you need to enable port forwarding and go through all this ports and crap like that. You don't. It's too much work. All you need to do is enable UPnP on your router, and that should, in theory, give you an open NAT. But, however, that is not the case. What you actually need to do as well, only if, and this was my problem, if your modem also acts as a router, what you need to do is navigate to that, and that will usually be on a separate IP. The technician who came in how to set it up on a separate static IP than your router, and has a different a dynamic range of IPs as your router. It has to, or else there's too much conflict and none of them will work. So it's usually if your main router is .1.1, your modem router is .0.1, and you want to navigate to that, log in. Usually, if you don't know your username and password, it'll actually be on your modem if it doubles as a router. A lot of new modems do, and this is where my problem was. And you need to literally go into your modem / router provided by your ISP and disable every single thing to do with that thing being a router. And to be more specific, disable port forwarding, port triggering, UPnP, dynamic range, every gateway function. There should be a function on there. There was on mine that says disable this router as a gateway. Disable that. Disable DHCP. Disable everything, literally. Disable all your wireless networks and reboot your router. And I would show you guys how I did all this, but I actually can't get into my router / modem settings right now. Because it's actually I think the menu on my modem's frozen, and I don't want to reboot it because everything's fine, everything's perfect right now. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is and let that be that. If a technician comes in and fucks it all over, I'm gonna be fucking pissed because I have open NAT type now. I'm not lagging. I'm warrioring kids fucking all the time. It's actually quite insane. And guys, this isn't gonna make you a fucking god. If you're shit at the game, you're gonna be shit at the game when you have no lag. This isn't going to give you ridiculous kills. You're still going to get bullshit deaths. I mean, it's P2P. There's barely any dedicated servers. You can't expect you always to fucking rape with a good connection. That's not how the game works. You're going to get bullshit deaths, but this is to minimize your bullshit deaths and maximize your bullshit kills. So yeah, once you achieve that open NAT through UPnP on your main router and disabling everything on your modem / router, only if it doubles as a router, and I want you to restart your Xbox, whatever, and try playing. If you still notice that it is actually laggy, you're going to do what I did the first time, which helped a bit, and throttle your connection. Now, if you guys don't know how to throttle your connection, it can be pretty scary depending on your router. In my case of my router, and I'll put a couple pictures on the screen guiding you guys through this, on my router, my throttling section actually kills my connection and basically cuts it in half, so that basically to do better in Call of Duty, my entire other connection's fucked. And I know that's not a problem with the throttling, it's a problem with my router, and I don't want to touch my firmware because everything else is pretty much fine, fingers crossed, but I probably will end up doing that one day. But what you want to do is enable something called QoS, and it will be under a section called traffic managing or throttling or something like that, or gaming blaster, depending on your router. Mine's an ASUS, so mine's under traffic manager. And if you have an ASUS router, perfect. This will guide you through it perfectly. If you don't, sort of just get the sort of gist of what's going on. So what you want to do is enable QoS, enter your maximum download, enter your maximum upload to what your ISP provides you, what your package is, and press save. Okay, and this will be on any router when you have to set up your QoS. Now, some routers will just let you do this, enter your speeds, and it automatically throttles it. But then the more advanced routers will actually let you set certain limits to certain MAC addresses. So basically, what we're doing is setting up a priority under the QoS that says, okay, this is my Xbox MAC address, and I want to limit its connection to this when it tries to go through these ports. And those ports are obviously when you do connect to Xbox Live. And a lot of routers actually have these ports preset, so you don't have to search them up on the internet. So, once you do that, once you add a priority through your Mac, and I'll have some pictures on the screen right now to guide you through that, you're going to restart your router or click save, and it will reboot your router because it takes some time. And you're going to try Call of Duty up. And what this is doing is, Call of Duty, like you may know, throttles your connection. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but it doesn't make sense for one guy to be running around with Google Fiber, another guy to be running around with what the fuck did I just say? Shitty dial-up internet on a farm. It's not fair to him, right? So what Call of Duty does is throttles everybody's connection down to the worst connection. That's why some games you have better connection to others. So, in theory, if you throttle your connection down really, really low, everybody's going to have to match you, and you, in theory, will have the most stable connection. In theory. That's a theory, and the other theory is if your connection is faster than everybody, then you're going to kill easier. And there's two separate theories, and some people, I've seen this work. For me, it worked half and half. It usually makes it easier because it throttles you down less. So if your connection's really, really good, and you're, you know, in some cases, by throttling your connection, you can actually see the game improve. So I ended up throttling mine down to about 5 down, or 2 down and 5 up. And I know if you run a speed test, this won't help. This only helps when you're actually playing the game. And again, you could test this by start system info. And my bandwidth did in fact decrease all the way down to about 2,000. So it decreased by a ratio of about 50%. And it actually helped a bit. It wasn't perfect. I was still dying a bunch of bullshit deaths, but it was playable, right? So the main thing for me was enabling or disabling all those settings on my router and achieving an open NAT. So for you to achieve that open NAT, what you want to do is UPnP enabled. If you have to, port forward, and you want to disable all these gateway functions on your actual modem/router if it is a modem/router. And you'll watch a ton of videos and people will be like, put your router in it or your Xbox in a DMZ, do this, do that, hardwire it. And guys, you should know that you need to hardwire your Xbox. If it is wireless and you're enabling, or you're not enabling, you're experiencing slowness, what you want to do is make sure that channels are conflicting with nearby routers. And if you don't know what channels are, each router sends signals out through a channel. There's 12 channels per gigahertz. 2.4 I think goes up to 14, and 5 goes up to about 176 I believe, or 79. But you want to make sure that your networks aren't running on the same channel if you are wireless. But if you do care this much, I recommend you to run wired. I run all my cables through my walls, and have a sort of like a panel that comes out of the wall. But if you have to, run a giant cable from wherever your router is from to your Xbox, because wired connection is always better. Okay, and you'll see people say like, make sure nobody's streaming at the same time. Listen, if you're trying to do a fix the lag video, like, that's stupid, that's a waste of time. I'm giving you real solutions to your real problems, and not, you know, make sure you're streaming 1,000 megabytes of fucking porn while you're trying to game. Like, fuck off, that doesn't make any sense. Throttle your connection if you have to, achieve an open NAT with the tips I gave you, and if that doesn't work, nothing will, because that's literally every solution possible to fixing lag in Advanced Warfare. So guys, if you enjoyed this video and it helped you in any way, leave a like, subscribe for more of this, and we're about to hit 200 subs. I have a song that I'm actually releasing at 200 subs on my channel. If you guys want me to do a quick setup video, I'll do that along with the song. Let me know in the comments. I'm so excited for 200 subs. It's been a month or two since I've started this channel, or revived it for that matter, with 20 subs, and I've grown all the way to 200, and I'm so happy. Couldn't be happier. So guys, leave me some love, leave me some support, leave a like, favorite it, subscribe, and guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.